Hi, everybody. Art Gruenberger, Puppet Art Theater Company, here with Puppet Pages, having conversations with the people of Puppet Pages. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, I get to talk with Cactushead Puppets. Stick around. See you in a second. So let me read my introduction here. John and Megan Regan have been performing together as Cactushead Puppets since 2010. They are both graduates of the UConn's Puppet Arts program, and as Cactushead Puppets, they create and tour shows for family audiences, as well as hosting the Paper City Puppet Slam. Won't you please help me welcome John and Megan Regan? Welcome, John and Megan!
Yay! Hi, everyone!
So glad
John and Megan Regan.
We're glad to be here. So.
You know, my entire goal for this interview is to see if I can get you both to look the opposite way to pop out the
ear. Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, could you reach just to see if the heads will then come knocking together?
Go back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We're dressing up as one of those knocky ball things in offices. Exactly.
That's perfect. Good. Well, it's really glad to see you guys. Now, we met at Puppet Fest Midwest, a wonderful puppet festival that was filled with so much talent and so many homemade cookies and so much humidity. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
I miss Puppet Fest Midwest.
Yeah, we do too.
It's a good one. It was a humid one. Yeah.
It was. Now, you guys got to, like everyone at Puppet Fest Midwest, they would get an entire week with an artist. And so what classes did you guys take who are your artists that you took classes with at Puppet Fest Midwest?
Well, I went several different times. Mm-hmm. I took classes with Jim Napolitano, with Drew Allison, and with Nick also, like we were talking about before the broadcast, getting Nick to make those great monsters. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. And John, did you get to go as many times or?
No, I only went a couple of times. And actually both times, for various reasons, I ended up working with Nappy, Jim Napolitano, which was very, very helpful. In fact, most of my shadow techniques I probably learned in that class. So thanks, Nappy.
Yeah. Nice. Good. So let's talk a little bit about your company. So Cactushead, first of all, Cactushead. I mean, what? I've watched several videos of your shows to become more familiar with your work, and I have not seen one cactus. I've seen many heads. So that's
true.
It's
true.
So where did you
we haven't made a cactus, which seems like an oversight.
It does.
But it's actually so when I was a kid, when we first got we got a black and white Mac and it had a drawing program on it. And I must have been couldn't have been more than like 7 or 8. And I drew a little cactus shape and I put a couple eyes on it. And I was like, haha, funny. And then I copied it twice and then I saved it and I quit it. And then I didn't think about it. And then on my 21st birthday, apparently my dad had liked it so much that he kept it and he put it on a t-shirt for me for my 21st birthday. And then when we were making a company, we were like, well, what do you even call a puppet company? And then it was Cactushead. Cactushead, why not?
Yeah, we thought it was funny, silly, memorable, and kind of embodied the goofy logo embodied our aesthetic still to this day, and things like that. So we went for it. So
I love it. That's a great story. That's right. I mean, you want it to be memorable.
Mm-hmm.
I was forced to come up with a name really quickly because I got hired to do a show, and my mentor Richard Bay, he had Richard Bay Puppet Theater, and so I thought, oh well, like my name's got to be in there, and I don't care for the name, but it's
I like it. It's memorable. Checks out. And we actually used that old image as our official logo for a while, which was funny for us. But then we sort of realized that Oh, they don't know the story. They're just seeing a child.
That's right.
So we got a real
Yeah.
logo. Who did our logo?
That was Christine Dempsey.
Christine Dempsey. Yes.
Yes.
Did a very
Nice.
good job
Yeah.
with it.
Nice. Now, did you guys go to UConn at the same time? Is that where you met?
We
or-
did, yeah. So we graduated in 2005 from the undergrad program. We met there, and not only did we get a great degree in puppetry, but we got a spouse,
Which is very nice.
So,
And we left, and we were like, let's just be married.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah, and we there also learned that we work really well together.
Yes.
Which has been
Yeah.
a big help having a partner. We can coordinate schedules really easily. Rehearsals, if it's 9:00 and it's the best time to rehearse,
And we
we're
never
fairly
have to explain
understanding.
what we're doing.
It's true. You also don't have to explain. Go home and be like, so today for
Sorry,
work,
I gotta make a lot of
did this."
eyeballs out of these spoons, and I got all kinds of things to do.
Don't have to have the puppetry translation for the spouse that is not doing
Yes.
the puppetry.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice. So, as I was watching the videos that you sent me of your shows, I was having more than two-hand envy because you guys especially the Pied Piper of Hamelin. You guys have 4 arms to work with, and we have my company has 1 or 2 shows that are multi-person for children, but the majority of our shows are 1-person shows. And you are very, very limited to mostly 2 characters. Every once in a while, we can figure out a way to get a 3rd character on there, but mostly you're limited to 2 characters, which is an incredible limitation. So when you guys, how often do you perform as a duo, and how often? I know you're also doing solo shows as well. So what's the ratio, and what do you prefer?
Yeah, I think we honestly prefer doing duo shows, and that's what we do most of the time. So like 4 of our 5 current shows are duo shows, and then our Magnificent Monster Circus show is a 1-person show, and that one we built knowing that scheduling issues and wanting just a smaller, more portable show.
Yeah.
Too, it's nice to have the 1-person option for smaller spaces and
we were
all
very
kinds of things.
ambitious with our first.
Yes, our first show
Pied
was like,
Piper.
let's do everything.
I know. We're college graduates for this. Shouldn't we cram everything we can into it?
Yeah.
But mostly 2-person, like traditional sort of puppet stage setups. And luckily, we did our most recent one as a sort of single-person show, partly because nope. There were so many times when one of us would be busy, so we couldn't do a puppet show, that having a 1-person puppet show just made so much sense.
That one, absolutely. Yeah. When my company started to expand, we brought in other puppeteers, and so then all of our shows could go out, since most of them were solo, with the exception of Goldilocks and the 3 Sharks, and that would require 2 of us to go out. But then, during the other times, we could send out most of the other shows, which is totally helpful. Although I got to say that is it Monster Circus? Is that what that show is called?
The Magnificent Monster Circus.
Yes.
The Magnificent. That show seems really, really big, and I don't know if it's just because I'm seeing a video of it, but it's got scale to it that's actually really big. Do you mind? Why don't we take a quick look at?
Sure.
Let's take a look.
Now this is the fiery fanged creature, and it's a monster circus, and so you have all sorts of different monsters coming out, and this one is the fiery fanged monster, right?
Yes, the fiery fanged worm.
All right, let's take a look at that here.
Imagine a ball of snack in your hand. All right? And on the count of 3, I want you to take that snack and throw it into the monster's mouth. All right? Okay, on the count of 3. 1.
So I'm going to back it up.
Okay.
Introduce to you the one, the only, baby fiery fang worm. Yes, this is a baby iron fang worm. You should see the parents. And luckily, at such a young age, they're very docile. And they never... Sorry, I'm very strange. And it's whoop. What's going on? I said, it's hungry. All right, let's see if we have any. I don't think we have any snacks around here. Uh-oh. Well, you know, a fiery fang worm loves real snacks, but they really love imaginary snacks. Yeah. All right. So I need every one of you at home to think very carefully about your favorite snack. And I want you to imagine a ball of snack in your hand. All right? And on the count of 3, I want you to take that snack and throw it into the monster's mouth. All right? Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, great shot! I can't believe that worked. More snacks. Let's go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. I think I need one more. 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
But you calmer monster, aren't you? Yeah, you're a calmer monster. Oh, viewers, I'm glad you're at home. Something is happening. Whoa. Oh,
No.
you got huge. Oh, no.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
I could see how a live audience would go crazy. Like, and watching the entire show, it's really fun to see just the sheer variety of monsters in the monster circus that you get to bring out. And you guys go between two very, very distinct styles from the videos that I've seen. You have the puppeteer is completely hidden behind the stage, behind the curtains. All you ever see is the puppets, and that is a fabulous approach, of course. And then you've got this where the puppeteer is an essential part, where the puppeteer is actually the ringmaster. What do you guys have a preference in like where do you land on the different styles?
So this is our first show like this. It was actually really nerve-wracking. It's not my first choice to be seen, but like, I don't know. We wanted something sort of open and big and like, where I didn't have to hide, and just being a part of the show was easier than trying to hide myself.
Yeah, as the idea for the show developed, it just made sense to have one of us out front, but it definitely was something we had to get comfortable with, especially after so many years of performing pretty much, just behind the stage. Yeah, I think some of the early rehearsals were mostly us just being like, ooh, I can see.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun now. It's so nice to see the audience reaction.
Yes.
To
we get to actually see people laugh.
Yeah, seeing people laugh, and
we got very lucky. We developed the show. We first developed it as like a birthday party show, and it was going to be real small. But then we had a chance to turn it into like an outdoor show, and through the Puppet Show Place Theater, we worked with Jana Zeller, and my brain just fell apart. What am I talking about?
But it got bigger that way in scale. So it's something that works, indoors, outdoors. And we also got lucky in that it works pretty well for our live stream situation now. It films pretty well. It's great to have us as a performer interacting with the camera as well, and that kind of stuff.
Although there's lots of acts, so I don't think we'll be able to do for quite some time. The kids used to each feed the worm by putting their hand in and giving them imaginary food.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting to see a video clip of it, because that clip was from a live stream of the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so first of all, what was it like when all of the performances came to a screeching halt for you? What was that like for you guys?
Yeah, it was
terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying. We were in the boat at the beginning of, I think I did a show on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then Friday everything closed. And so we were like, well, it's going to be a couple weeks or a month or something, so we knew our things through the rest of March were canceled. And then April was canceled, and then May was canceled. And then we started working on, switching to live stream and figuring out how to do that.
And a lot of the libraries that we were working with still wanted us to do something.
Yes.
So we learned
great motivation, right? It's like,
we learned a long time ago.
Figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a great way to do things is to say, okay, yes, I can do that. Yeah. And then, oh God, how do we do that?
It'll get you moving quickly, won't it?
It will, definitely.
Yeah.
So how was the transition then from doing like this show, the monster show, from a live audience where you have kids feeding invisible food to to going to that single point of the camera lens? Like, how was that for you guys as performers?
It was kind of tough. My family was a very kind test audience for us when we did it for them. Just kind of as first we learned how to set up all the technology, and we've got, the 2 cameras and switching between them and all that kind of stuff. And then I did a rehearsal for them as an audience saying, how is this?
Yes.
And,
what too much space? What?
We got some great feedback of what was working and what wasn't. And, kind of the more comfortable we got with it, the better we got at it.
And we don't really do any TV stuff. So we had to sort of we took a we took a TV puppet class at UConn in 2004. So we had to dust some of that off and be like, oh yeah, the frame. Yeah. You work within the frame. Interesting.
Yeah.
But it's fun, but it is weird at the end when you're just sort of done.
Yes.
We
have enjoyed doing the live stream through Zoom and stuff like that, where the audience can, after the show, turn on their cameras, turn on their mics, and actually ask questions. So we've, as much as people have been comfortable doing, we've been doing that and doing a fairly traditional Q&A session like we usually do at the end of our shows, and that's been really nice.
I've been surprised at how the kids are very engaged, and they have the same kinds of questions. They're like, how did that, where's the,
Like surprised and relieved, right? It's like,
surprised and relieved.
You paid attention, and there's this desperation when I'm performing. It's just like, oh, I hope they're still with, I mean,
hope you're
I'm like that live. I think you guys have been performing long enough to have honed that part of your brain where you hear every wiggle and every restless little move out there, and that it's like, all right, time to pivot to something new, or time to,
Okay. Are they laughing? Do they like me? What's happening?
Yeah.
And not have any of that is just terrifying.
Yeah. It is such a different thing to know, how long am I holding this pause?
Yes.
I don't know. Is it too long? Oh, okay. But it's been great to have that. Live feedback has been so nice. We've also really enjoyed doing some workshops live.
Workshops
too.
Fun
we've just done some really simple, make a rod puppet type of stuff, but it's so fun to interact with the kids and the families.
How many kids are you doing workshops for at any given time, and how do you manage that?
So we've been doing 10 to 15 different households have logged on. It's a nice situation where there are 2 of us. So for most of them, John has been managing the tech side of things, so switching between cameras and things like that, and I'm doing the kind of hands-on, and now we're gluing this to this and that to that,
which is actually almost from a workshop teaching point of view, that's almost it's much easier to make sure each child gets to see what they have to do,
because you're right up there,
exactly,
right up
it's
there.
right there. It makes me want to set up a projector when I do a live workshop and just
and everybody, everybody heard you. Nobody was, not listening because somebody was distracted, or if they were, that's they'll catch up. They'll see the next step for sure.
And we're lucky in that it was mostly libraries, so the kids know each other,
Oh,
at least sort of
Yeah.
tangentially. So they're more comfortable having the video on and showing off their puppets.
Yeah. And so we've, been suggesting, oh, we're making a rod puppet. What do you, what animal do you want to make? Oh, what color should we make this? So the kids are all giving inputs to our example that we're making. And then we're giving them options, throughout the process of like, okay, now hold your puppet up, show everybody what your creature is, kind of thing. It's been really
So
fun.
each kid sort of gets their time in front of the camera to show off their.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's one of the most difficult things has been trying to keep these interactive, because that's like the best part of a puppet show is when, people can interact and it's live and it's not going to be the same ever again. So we at least get to keep some of that with the fact that it's a live stream, and like no one will ever see this particular one unless I record it. Hang on.
And I think you guys have done a really nice job in keeping the participatory moments. They can't be the same as they are when, an audience spontaneously yells, "He's right behind you." That just doesn't work very well on camera. But there are ways that you can incorporate, and you guys have done such a great job of finding a way to shift that to you at home. Will you do this with me, or will you point in the right direction? Or that's been a really nice pivot that I've seen in your work. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, speaking of your work, let's take a look at another clip.
Let's do.
This is the mouse clip. I watched this entire show, and the mice stole the show for me.
Every time.
And so I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about how you figured that out. So let's take a look at a little bit of it's the Pied Piper of Hamelin. Is that correct?
It is.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at this. I'll see if I can't start the video at the right time too.
The rats got into the food. Oh, me, me, me. Ooh. Ooh. The rats got into the clothing. The rats even got into the mayor's antique furniture storage.
That's fantastic. It totally steals the show. So it's hard to tell on camera. So how big are the rats? What's the size?
Wow.
They're about this big. Yeah.
So the size of your head is what
Exactly.
They fit in hands.
Sorry, that's about the size of my fist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They're perfect. And they are almost I won't want to say happy accident, but you know, as you said, you saw the show. There's so many characters and things, and the rats were the last thing that we figured out the design for the show. And I was like, oh my goodness, we need to make a lot of rats. How are they gonna work? How are we gonna get some movement? All the legs and I was inspired by an illustrator, Leo Leone, has some really simple mice in lots of his books. So I looked at that and I thought, okay, just an egg shape, and then just a bouncy tail. And these were kind of the mock-ups that we made like 10 years ago that have been around since the beginning, since they were such a hit.
There is a simplicity to them that work so well, and they communicate really. It just shows that you don't need a lot of mechanisms. Not that I have anything wrong. But you don't need a lot of that in order to really communicate well. In fact, you don't even need words to communicate well. And these mice really do a great job throughout the show. How do you guys divide up the work of the business? Is one of you more a director? Is one of you more a writer? Who does the building? Who does what?
Who does what? So we've actually been very lucky that we live in Massachusetts and are near enough to the Puppet Showplace Theater in Brookline. We have done a lot of our, the last couple years, developing shows through their incubator program. Roxy Myram, the artistic director there, has been sort of our outside eye and helped us with a lot of that directing. So basically we together come up with the idea for the show, and then we kind of, depending on the show, decide who wants to sort of design what and go from there.
So it's loosey-goosey is I think what we're trying to say.
It's kind of loosey-goosey.
We'll get a vague outline, and then we'll just kind of start doing things, and then the script sort of gets improvised, and then if we like something, we'll write it down. Or rather, it used to be if we liked something, we'd try to remember it, and then we would forget it. And then we went to the showplace, and Roxy would write down the funny things we said. So that was very helpful.
Yes.
Nice. What a great resource to have the Puppet Showplace there, and Roxy there to be the outside eye, because so often it's, especially working as a one-man show developer, it can be, creating in a vacuum is really hard. It's nice to have nice to have an objective view that can say this is too long or this isn't long enough or
Yeah. And especially for our 2-person shows, it would be so hard to know in the midst of trying to perform, how does it look? How is it feeling as an audience member? So that's such help. So
nice. And was that clip was from a performance at the Showplace, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that was a live stream from the Showplace.
That's really cool. So I noticed they're using multiple cameras, and I've seen. I think I saw them. Who was they just retired? It was.
Crabgrass.
I saw their show, and I think they were working with 3 cameras where they had close up, a far back, and then a mobile camera that was following some of the action as well. So, are you guys using multiple cameras in your live stream stuff as well?
Yes.
We are not quite as in depth of a setup, but we've got a close up and a wide shot, which allows some of our puppet acts. The parts that are smaller, more contained, we can get up close, and then we can spread out to use the whole play space.
Which is nice because it makes it very dynamic. And like you were saying, having just one point of view is very tough. And being able to switch it up even a little bit has been very helpful.
Absolutely. I think it too. It's just having a framing shift. I was watching a movie the other night, and it was during a chase scene, so there was a lot of changing. But I just decided to count in between each camera shift, and I don't think I got higher than 7 seconds between camera shift, camera shift, camera shift, camera shift, and that's I think we get pretty used to that when we're watching a movie and watching TV that we're going to see it from several different angles. And when I was first doing live streaming, maybe you guys too, I had the single camera that was best I could figure out at the time, and now I've moved into like multiple cameras to just try to shift the audience's perspective, because they do that live when they're watching the show. They're looking from various place to various place on the puppet stage.
We took an online workshop about streaming from Chad Williams that was very helpful. In fact, everything we're using is what he recommended.
We were like, okay, we'll do that. Yep, great.
Yep. So we have one webcam, we film almost everything on my cell phone, which is bananas to me. But it works.
How good the camera is on like the current cell phones. It's insane what you can produce.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. It's bonkers.
Good. Let's take a look at another clip. Now, you guys really, with this show, you did throw everything in, and the kitchen sink. And so we'll just look at a little segment of this part. The entire video I was watching, Pied Piper, I was waiting for the blue curtain to open up, and I was wondering what was going to happen when it happened. And so let's take a look and see what happens when that back curtain opens up and we see this. I want to know where you guys decided to ship them off to.
Well, that's in the sequel.
Yeah.
Gotcha. More than once, a child has been like, "What happens to the rats?" And that's when
the first question that came up for me.
We'll often spin it to like, "Well, where do you think they went?"
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. How is the reaction when you go from the live furry fluffy stuff, and then all of a sudden you open that and you go to a completely different style of puppet? How is the audience reaction to that?
We, not to brag, but we often hear a lot of people go, "Ooh."
Yes. It's pretty great. I enjoy it.
Yeah, similar to a camera shift. It's a nice shift in the middle of the live show to change it up and do something new.
And it's just it's fun to like the audience has accepted that this is the world as it is, and that's just the back curtain, and then they're traveling. What's happening?
Yeah.
I assume they all lose their minds.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Good. Well, if you've got any questions for John or Megan, please go ahead and type them in the chat. We're getting toward the end of our time. So you can also type stuff into the chat if you're watching this as a recording, and we'll try to get answers to you later on after the live stream is over. You guys, what are your plans for the fall? All of the schools out here in California, they're all doing distance learning. We decided to keep everything closed up in California for the most part, with the exception of a couple of counties. But so how are things out there where you guys are, and what's the plans for continuing?
We are going to continue to perform online live streaming. I think we've got some people in November who have kind of said, let's see what happens. But I think we'll probably continue performing online and doing workshops and things like that. And I think with people being home, there's definitely a desire for that, and so hoping to still be able to continue connecting with people that way and sharing our work.
I think I think we would like to try and turn another one of our shows into a TV thing, or because the stage things don't translate as well. Like you were saying, Monster Circus works really well because we can play with the camera, whereas like the Pied Piper is this huge stage, and it worked at the showplace because they've got 3 things and 2 people running tech.
Yeah.
But I think we want to take one of our shows and kind of
Yeah, we have a little
redo
Red
it.
Riding Hood show that we love the script, but it's short, and we've been thinking about for years of like,
Yeah.
oh, what could we do? So that may be our fall project of, hey, we've been wanting to do something with that. Let's use this opportunity to see what we could do with it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, I know we talked a little bit earlier about the Paper City Puppet Slam, and Ethan has a question. He wants to know if there's any plans to make the Puppet Slam virtual.
Yeah, Ethan, we are definitely thinking about it.
Yeah.
We usually do a slam in late January, early February. So we were lucky to get that one in this year.
Yes. Like just under the wire.
Just under the wire. But
I mean, we didn't know it at the time.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I think
we intend to, I think.
Yeah, when it comes time for that, I think we will probably do it virtual. We've loved participating and watching all the virtual slams, and loved how you can have people from everywhere participate in a slam now. You're not limited to who's, within driving distance for that it's reasonable to ask them to come do a 10-minute performance.
I mean, we're lucky that we're within driving distance of some very good puppeteers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's usually a good lineup.
But it was really interesting to be sitting in the virtual room with you guys for a puppet slam that the showplace put on, and be sitting in California while you guys were sitting out relatively close to the puppet show place, and other people were in Chicago and all over the place, and we're all hanging out doing a slam virtually, which is just cool. I hope you guys do make your slam virtual.
I think that's the plan. Yeah.
Good. Listen, if you'd like information about Cactushead puppets and the virtual offerings that they have, you can go to puppetpages.com and check out the various programs that they have, and then check back regularly because they'll be adding more programs as time goes by. Listen, if you missed my interview with Liz Joyce and a couple of puppets from last week or the week before that, Alex and Olmsted, both of those are available on the Puppet Pages Facebook site and on the Puppet Pages YouTube channel. And next week, I get to talk with Brad Schur, and we're going to be talking more puppets. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for a little while. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Stay healthy and stay safe, and I'm sure I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.